You know, this whole health crisis thing that we're facing as a nation has got some of our routines a little bit messed up. Mine hasn't changed a lot, at least the morning routines. I still come into the office. I still make my first cup of coffee of the day. I sit down, spend some time in the Word, spend some time in prayer. And that doesn't change a whole lot. The rest of my week is drastically different. But that first cup of coffee is critical. You can almost smell it, can't you? And it's really good, I've got to tell you. That's part of what my morning routine looks like. And while it hasn't changed a lot, there are some things about my morning and about my week that have changed. And I'm sure yours have too. There's a lot of ways that we are not doing things the same way that we have, at least in my entire lifetime. This is, I think, the first time in my life, for sure, that the church has had to do something different than what we are used to doing. It's always been, we have a place to be, we have a place to meet, we have a place to gather, and we come here and into this building and we do those kind of things. But now, for the first time in at least a long time, we have to learn how to be the church beyond these walls. We have to learn how to be the church outside of this facility to a world that's watching and needs to see who Jesus is, that Jesus is the one who died, that he was buried, that he was resurrected on the third day for my sins, for your sins. And we've got to do that beyond these walls. In order to help you do that, we've created a few resources and gathered a few different things together so that you can have the tools you need in order to be the church beyond these walls. One of the first things that we've done is created a couple of playlists. If you're a part of Parkview, you know we have two different services. We have a traditional service and we have a contemporary service. And so what we have curated are two different styles of playlists on both YouTube and on Spotify. One of them has some traditional songs like you might hear in our first service. The other one has some contemporary songs that you might hear in our second service. Those are designed to help you create an attitude of worship through your week. Those things will be updated probably on Wednesdays each week with the new songs for the coming week so that you have something to use to facilitate your worship. You can use those on a Sunday morning too as you spend time together as a family worshiping, and you can worship along with those songs, and we hope that those are a good resource for you. Another resource that we want to make sure you're aware of is our Tithely app. If you are wondering how to give your tithes and offerings, you can do that in a number of ways. You can drop that in the mail by writing a check. If you want to swing by the church and drop it off, you can do that too. But we do offer an online and an app-based giving, so you can give your tithes and offerings to that. There's probably no greater time in history that your giving is necessary than a time like this. The church still has a lot of bills to pay and programs to cover, and things will pick up eventually, and we'll have to have resources to be able to continue to minister in our community. Finally, one other resource that we want to make sure that you are aware of is a resource called Next Level. This is a series of Bible studies and small group studies that Ozark Christian College has produced, and some of these are really, really phenomenal studies. In this week's email I'm going to send out to you, I'm going to suggest a couple different ones. One of them is a study through the book of Hebrews that would tag along and go along a lot with what we're talking about in our Sunday morning series called Greater Than. The other one is a series on the Sermon on the Mount called Your Kingdom Come. And it's a series where we take a look at Matthew 5, 6, and 7 and see just exactly what it means for God's kingdom to be present now in such a time as this. Church, I don't know what your daily routines look like. I know how mine have changed. I know yours must have changed. But I still know that Jesus is in charge, that God has not left, and that he is using this as a way to encourage us to be the church beyond these walls. Hang in there, church. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. But we can be the light of Jesus to a world that needs to see it. So my encouragement to you right now, go make yourself a cup of coffee and enjoy it.